Elliot Rogers. If you've never heard the name, honestly, lucky you. However, now I fear you have, and I'm gonna tell you what he did. Warning, it is very disturbing. You guys are gonna freak out. Let me set the scene. It's 2014 in a college town in California. Elliot goes on to commit a horrific, disturbing act that ends the life of 6 people. Elliot calls himself the extreme gentleman. If that doesn't tell you enough, I'll go more into detail. He is an incel. No comment. An incel stands for involuntarily celibate, so basically he hates society, he blames all of his suffering on women, he's bitter that he's lonely, bitter that no one likes him or is attracted to him, he thinks he was treated very, very unfairly by the world because he was never intimate with anyone. Therefore, he hates the world, more specifically women. The reason why we have so much information on what Elliot was thinking and why he did what he did is because he himself actually wrote a 141-page manifesto. A manifesto is basically a written statement about your intentions and the actions that you're planning on doing. In this case, he wrote the manifesto up until the day of his attack. Now to backtrack a little bit, Elliot was born in London. He had his mom, his dad, and a little sister named Georgia. His dad was a film director. He actually ended up being the assistant director, I'm pretty sure, in one of the Hunger Game movies. And his mom was a nurse, but she was a nurse on film set. So that's how his parents met. So from the outside looking in, it looks like Elliot had a beautiful, healthy, very wealthy family, which he did. His parents were very well off, but Elliot was always a little bit weird. He was obsessed with money. He was obsessed with being high on the social ranking. He said he was destined to be famous, obsessed with not only his money, but everyone else's. So if you had less money that he did, he would judge you, and he just thought he was above everyone else. He thinks he is the greatest in his eyes. When Elliot was 5, his family made the move from the UK to LA. They moved into a beautiful brand new home. Elliot liked it because it was big and grand and that made him look rich. However, when he was 7, his parents did get a divorce. His dad stayed in the big new house. His mom moved into a different house. The dad got a new girlfriend, and at 7 years old, in his manifesto, he writes about how when his dad introduced him to his new girlfriend, he held his dad to a higher regard because he had a new girlfriend, which meant lady found his dad attractive, and he was proud of him and looked up to him because of that. Ever since he was little, he was obsessed with the cool kids. So he tried his hardest to fit in. He would buy cool outfits, would dye his hair a cool color like the cool kids, would want cool hobbies, wanted to have the coolest appearance, but never really did fit in. He would try so hard, but he was weird. At the age of 11 is when he starts to get bullied because he's trying so hard to be someone that he's not. So instead of looking up to the cool kids now, he starts to resent them. When you learn what he did and about all his hatred towards women, you would think that there was this big, traumatizing, cruel event that happened to him. And in his eyes, there was. Something really made a flip switch. I'll tell you what it was. He was playing in the playground with the cool kids, and he got pushed into a girl. The girl pushed him back. That's it. That's the big traumatizing event. A flip switched in his head, and now every single girl in the world was evil and they were all against him. So this is when he gets really insecure. He is really, really shy, will not talk to girls, but also hates them because he wants them to talk to him and they don't. So he hates them and is scared of them. Fast forward to high school, this is when he learns about intimacy, and he starts to get very, very jealous of the people that are intimate. In his manifesto, he says, and I quote, "Words cannot describe how much hatred and envy I felt for those boys." Because he had no friends, he went online and he started learning more about intimacy, and he grew a really big resentment and hatred for all the people that were involved in that. Or actually anyone that was in love or in a relationship. He essentially just blamed the world because no one wanted to be his girlfriend. He couldn't understand why he was so perfect, but no one wanted him. He didn't get it. There's videos of himself that he recorded, which I'm going to mention at the end, but he thinks he is so handsome, so smart. He dresses nice. He's magnificent. He's a cool car. He looks cool, dresses awesome. So he cannot get it through his brain why the girls don't like him. He thinks that something must be wrong with them because they don't want to be with him. He ends up dropping out of community college. His mom makes him get a job. That doesn't work out. So his parents convince him that they will pay for his college, and he ends up going to Santa Barbara City College. When he enrolled at this new school, he saw it was a college town. There was college kids his age walking around, and he thought, this is perfect. I'm going to be so cool. I'm going to have so many friends. But when he didn't, he was again shocked. He made the decision that he wanted to be intimate before he turned 20. He couldn't believe that he hadn't done it yet. So he made, in his words, a huge effort to have a girlfriend / be intimate with someone. And his effort was he would dress really cool, very cool in his eyes. He would go sit at a coffee shop or also Pizza Hut for hours and just sit there waiting for girls to come up to him. And when they didn't, he was legitimately shocked, like could not comprehend. The other traumatizing event that happened to him is he said hi to a girl. I think she may have been wearing headphones. She didn't say hi back, so he ran to a public bathroom and cried for an hour. And that's when another flip switch, and he's done. He says he's now going to get revenge and act on these evil thoughts that he has about his hatred towards everyone that's in love. The little things that he started doing was if he saw a couple in love and someone that looked happy or like kissing, if he saw any PDA, he started pouring drinks on them because he was mad at them. And then in 2013, he joined an incel online community. So, which these are big groups of people. They're all over the internet. People that are, again, miserable because they've never been intimate. They're mad at the world. And Elliot is seeing all these comments of people that think the way that he does and thinks this is perfect. I finally fit in. The issue is when he was online talking to all these people, he gets the idea of committing acts of violence against the people that he resents, which is not good. So around 9 months before the attack, he starts fantasizing about ways that he could harm these people. In the years 2014, he decides it's time to plot against his act of violence, in which in his eyes, he will be getting revenge for everyone that ever rejected him. He referred to this day as the Day of Retribution, which is so weird, and he writes in detail about it in his 141-page manifesto, in detail of what he's planning to do. There's going to be 2 phases. So day 1 and day 2, and I'm going to talk about the details of what he specified that he was going to do and then what he actually did. It's horrible. This is your warning. Elliot said that the first phase, day 1, he was going to go to his dad's house. He was going to kill his brother and his stepmom because he was jealous that his little brother may be cooler than him, and he did not want to allow that to happen, and he just didn't like his stepmom. Then he was going to go back to his apartment in his college town, kill his 2 roommates, lure people into his apartment, pour boiling water on them, slit their throats, decapitate them, and keep their heads in a bag. Like, oh my God, Now, phase 2, the second day of the attack, he was going to sneak into the hottest sorority house on campus. He was going to slaughter every single person in the house, burn the house down, start driving, and run over everyone that he sees. And once there's a crowd around him, he was going to grab the bag of heads from his car and throw them in the public, just because he wanted to seem powerful, and then he was just gonna open fire and kill everyone that was around. This is when he started posting these weird videos of himself, filming himself in the car. It was like a vlog, and he would be talking to the camera, and for example, he'd see a couple walking, and he would be like, I hate them, like, why are they doing this? Why does no one want to do this with me? Like, just literally so mental. You guys should look them up. Days before the attack, the cops actually go to his apartment because someone saw his weird videos and called the police. And in his head, he thought he was busted. He thought they were going to search his apartment, find his manifesto, find the file. He was not going to be able to commit the crime. However, somehow he committed the cops that everything was fine, and they just left. Again, this plan was going to be in 2 phases. When it was actually time to commit the plan, he actually just committed both phases in the same day. That was on Friday. So Friday, May 23rd, he went to his father's house to commit the first phase, but his dad was home, so he decided that he was not going to kill his brother and his stepmom. He then did go back to his college apartment, did end up killing both of his roommates, who actually had a friend over, so he killed the friend as well. He then emailed his manifesto to 34 people, including his parents, family members, old friends, and school teachers. As soon as his mom saw that, and I think other people as well, they called the cops, but it was unfortunately too late. After he sent out his manifesto, he did go to the sorority house to try and break in. Fortunately, no one let him in, and he was not able to get inside the house. However, when he turned around to walk back to his car, he saw 3 girls outside them, and unfortunately 2 people lost their lives. He then drove to a deli, got out of his car, and started everyone. There are videos of this online. It's very graphic and obviously heartbreaking. Then police found him in the back of his car as he was driving. They were shooting the car, so that caused him to crash. Police got out and rushed to his car, but they found him dead. He had himself. In his last video of himself, he says, and I quote, "You denied me a happy life, and in turn, I will deny all of you life. It's only fair." Again, this just breaks my heart because it's like he was so obviously mentally unstable, and because of that, so many people lost their lives. He ended the lives of 6 people but injured dozens, and obviously just left the entire town traumatized. I'm gonna put pictures of all 6 victims that lost their lives on the screen. It is just so horrible. I cannot even imagine what their families went through, let alone the entire college town. I mean, that is so horrific and traumatizing, and should have just never happened. But let me know what you guys think, and let me know if there are any other cases that you would like me to cover.